Well, says we're live. Hopefully we are. Hopefully we're coming through loud and clear. I didn't have a Kleenex. Didn't bring a Kleenex in here. I always get an itchy nose when I get started and everything. I just had to scratch it online there. Hey Joey, how are you? Top of the morning to you too. Yeah, I'm up here in my festive red and green and red hat, trying to enjoy yeah, scratch it, just don't pick it. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be a booger of a time, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I'm just not going to do that. Hey, Barbara, could you bring me some Kleenexes in here? I've got like a itchy nose. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be a booger of a time. Hey, Jamie. No, I'm not double dipping today. I don't have, uh, and here comes my lovely, whoops. What, that's right. The camera gives me a different perspective. I forget which shoulder to look over. That was my lovely Barbara coming in to help me out here, and she'll. Yeah, that's my Vanna White. Yeah, she's turning. No, I'm actually got my Coke Zero and some salted peanuts to snack on. Nothing better than salted peanuts and Coke. I like that taste. I like it since I was a kid. We used to put the peanuts inside the 8-ounce Coca-Cola bottle. I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if you go back that far. That was what we did when I was a young boy and everything. I believe it was eight. Was it 8 ounce? What are those small Cokes, Barbara? Do you remember the 8 ounces? She's done snuck off. Hey James, how are you? Yeah, I'm enjoying. We're starting our Christmas season. We had a family get together yesterday. Yeah, doing good, doing good. Yeah, we had our first family get together yesterday. We had uh, Barbara's side of the family. Her uh, three sisters and her brother came up or came here. Her brother lives in Alabama. He came up. Her sisters, one lives here in Cherryville, one lives in Lincoln, which is not too far away, and the other sister lives in Salisbury, uh, which is not still not too far away. Yeah, yeah. I gave them nothing's what I gave them. We don't exchange gifts anymore. We're at the age where we get just a good family get together, and whatever children can come will come, and whatever grandchildren can come will come. And in Alabama, he lives in um, Tuscaloosa, right beside the college. He's his wife is a huge fanatical Alabama fan, and she they wanted to live in Tuscaloosa, so they bought into a lot or whatever down there, and they go to all the Alabama football games, and you know it is one of those crazy things, but they're right in Tuscaloosa, and they got a place up here in the mountains of North Carolina too. He's talking about selling it. He built about 20 something years ago. He built huge a huge house on the top of the mountain, and really he was up there amongst all that devastation, but he had no damage up there. So well, some moderate damage. He lost his gate. It flooded his road and knocked out his gate. He had to replace his gate going up to his mountain cabin, and And I say mountain cabin lightly because it is a really, really nice 3-story house is what it is. It's a lodge almost. And it's totally solar because it was going to cost him like $40,000 just to get the power ran up to his location. So he made it all solar off grid, got backup power, everything. Uh, well, it did. It paid off. It's been on top of the hill because down in the valley, in the valley areas, that bridges got washed out. He was afraid he would lose his, but we had actually uh, almost overbuilt his trailer. Not over. Well, we didn't overbuild it because it paid off. But at the time, you looked at it and you thought, "Wow, that's overbuilding building that bridge that went across a pretty good sized creek." I mean, I mean, I'm talking about, some people would call it a little river that we had to cross, but it was a creek, but it was a massive creek. And he has a big, massive creek that comes down off the mountain that he has to actually go through it in a couple spots. And, that got washed out pretty good, I think. But all in all, he didn't have the damage that most people, because seriously, I mean, he was right in the middle of all of that up there. He lives in a little town up there called Minneapolis, North Carolina, which is, to one side is Spruce Pines, down below him is Newland. And you can look all these up. This is where all the devastation was, or a majority of it was. It's Spruce Pines, Newland, Banner Elk. That's the. I'm gonna have to use my Kleenex again. Like I said, I'm gonna do like Joey said. Don't pick it, scratch it, rub it. Don't pick it. But anyway, that's where my brother-in-law's property is, in the mountains. And he was lucky. He really was lucky. Really, really was. Well, I hope everybody's having a good Christmas. And I don't know which way I need to turn this, kind of center myself up a little bit. Hope everybody's got a good signal and everything. I hope my signal's going through good. I never know till I see the end of it. It's one of those things, that tastes good. Tastes good here on a Sunday morning. But hopefully everybody's going to have you're going to have a good Christmas season. We're planning on, a good Christmas. We've enjoyed it so far. Barbara and I kind of take it lightly, and I don't worry about too much. I've got most everything that I would probably ever need in life. I don't need a lot. And at this point in my life, I don't want to do a lot. So, I don't need a lot of things cluttered. I still like tools. I'm a tool junkie. So, any of the latest and greatest innovative tools I usually like to get a hold of. And Jim and I, we're staying busy at the shop, and we got that new building that we bought, and Jim and I are going to have to do a lot of remodeling of that building. So that's where I'm at right now, and that's what I'm going to be doing, and all that sort of stuff. I don't film as much as I used to show what we're doing. I guess maybe it's because it's just I'm a little bit lazy with this YouTube. I don't feel like I have the time sometimes to set out cameras and everything. And I'm really not using YouTube as a platform to make money. Trust me, I'm not. It maybe gets a few pennies here and there, but I don't monetize it like a lot of people do. Actually, when I come on live, I actually cut the monetization off because I don't want commercials popping up while I'm doing live and then people are doing. Now after I go off live, then I cut that monetization back on. If I get a few pennies, so be it. And that's the way I kind of look at it. But I don't want the live broadcast being interrupted with commercials. So I started cutting that off months ago because I was hearing some people say, well, yeah, they, a commercial interrupted it. And I don't want that because I might have something fantastic that you missed on, while you're watching it live. You know me, I got all this train of thought going on. I'm just babbling on, and you might miss a very important piece of information if I had a commercial pop up. Oh yeah. FEMA is, my brother-in-law talked about that. FEMA's lying their ass off about what they have done. I think they're getting scared with Trump coming in, and hopefully what he will correct. But yeah, FEMA has lied their ass off. And if it hadn't been for volunteers, I mean, just the other day I saw where there was 150 campers, I think, that was given out to victims of Helene up there in the mountains. I mean, and it wasn't FEMA. It wasn't FEMA. It wasn't the federal government. It wasn't nothing by the government at all. It was volunteers that give it out. I mean, generous donators that gave it out, and they brought them 150 campers, at least to live in, and people were so appreciative of that because they can put the campers on their property and kind of retain their property again, as opposed to just people thinking that it's the wild west up there. And a lot of people have a small farm up there, maybe have cattle or livestock of some description, and they need to keep up with that and be right there on their property. So it was a godsend to be able to get that. Yeah, I saw Trump at the Army Navy game, and they didn't. I noticed CBS, they just did just a little blip. They didn't highlight it very much. They didn't highlight it. Yeah. Well, a lot of people are. I think the truth's coming out, and hopefully, when Trump gets in, he can wring a neck to these FEMA people. I mean, FEMA has gotten so woke. I mean, that organization needs to be cleaned up, big time. I mean, and hopefully Vivek and uh, Musk and everybody else can help jump up there and clean that crap up, because we don't need a federal government that is so biased. And right now, that's what we got, a woke, biased federal government right now. Yeah. Well, I think they're going to have to get these big corporations like John Deere and some of these others that have moved offshore or moved to Mexico and all these other places like that and say, we're going to build the product elsewhere and then ship it over here for our farmers to use it in the United States. Well, that's crap. I got to eat some peanuts. I'm not gonna put the peanuts inside my Coke, although I used to when I was a kid. I'll eat the peanuts, and hope that doesn't bother y'all that I eat some peanuts here. But that's a good snack. Oh, Trump. I mean, Biden is. That just makes you so mad when you see what Biden is doing. The last few days of his administration, trying to get rid of every dollar that they can, trying to spend, and do things that will hurt Trump Well, it hurts the American public. And not only hurts Trump, but that's so bizarre that we put up with that. And you feel like, well, there ought to be somebody that can stop that. But there's not, because they're the top of the rank right now. That's a crazy thing. Well, they're spending in hopes to help stuff. And Rivian is a direct competitor with Musk, and that's probably the reason they did that. James, or is it Walter said that? Who said that? James. Yeah. Well, I knew that was a lie the first time I heard it come out of his mouth. When he said that, I said, "You're just telling a lie to get votes, to tell people that I'm above the law. That I'm better than other people, but that I'm not going to let something, skew my thinking or whatever." But I knew that was a lie. Anybody that didn't know that was a lie, they're fooling themselves. I mean, I knew it from day one. Day one, when I heard him say, "Oh no, I'll take the verdict. I will not pardon my son." I'm saying, you're crazy. That's not going to happen. When you got the power to do that, you're going to do it. I mean, I would do it. I'm not denying it, but I mean, I wouldn't lie about it to begin with. And that's what he did. That's the crime in itself, is the fact that he lied to get the sympathy for everybody, for votes and everything else. And then as soon as he had the chance to do it, he did it. Yeah, that's probably true, James. That's probably true. They'll pad their pocket with bonuses and everything else. And then the American public will be paying for it. Well, that's probably true too about the pardon for him. I mean, that keeps Hunter from turning on his dad. Of course, I don't think Hunter would, but the thing it does do that might be a double-edged sword to him. Now Hunter can be subpoenaed. He has to testify, and he can't take the fifth. Now that he's been pardoned, he can't take the fifth in anything. So in some ways, that's a good thing. Now he can lie and be prosecuted for lying, I guess, but that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing. So I don't know. But I don't want to see, excuse me, too salty. Too salty. I got to watch these peanuts here. Let me just eat these right quick. Well, it's possible. It's possible he would be, well, if he thought he was going to prison, he probably would get mad at his dad, yeah, for sure. But I don't think there was ever a doubt that he would do it. I mean, that's my opinion. I just don't see it, and I don't think he would ever. I don't think he would ever do it. And so when I heard him say that at the very beginning, it's like he's like, "No, I would never pardon him." He had his fingers crossed behind his back or whatever. That's about as bad as Richard Nixon going, "I was not a crook." Yeah, he was not a crook either. It's like politicians lie. Politicians lie. Yeah. No, I doubt that. I doubt he pardons Trump. Of course, I think Biden can probably pardon himself if he wants to. I don't know. I don't know the. I don't know all the ins and outs of that. I'm not a lawyer, and gosh, I hate having a little bit of a runny nose, a little bit of not I guess allergy, but wintertime blues here. Hey Patrick, how are you? Question about a compact loader. Uh, what I've got Bobcat equipment, uh, so I can only speak for Bobcat. Now I've used Kubota and other things. I'm not a big John Deere fan either. I can tell you that. I've never have been a big John Deere fan for the compact loaders or anything of that size. So I like where Bobcat's going on theirs. They they they're using this Doosan. I can't remember the name of a German made motor. I mean, mine is the older version. I got a Kubota motor in my Bobcat, and mine's a T300. They went, they got away from that for a while, and I forgot what the engine was they used, but now the more recent ones are a German motor, and some of them are you don't even have to use DEF in. I don't think they've really got a nice motor in some of those new Bobcats. So that's my opinion, but they're expensive. I mean, you can't you know yeah, those things aren't cheap anymore. I mean, I paid a good bit of money for mine. I bought mine brand new back in I want to say it about 03, 04, something like maybe in 05. Mine might be an 05, but here mine's 15, 16 years old. Thank goodness they're paid for. I didn't abuse them, and they're low hours because it's just my hours. I never had them on a commercial site. So all of my equipment is in pretty good shape. The paint jobs, the Bobcat's the worst on paint jobs of any of them. I can tell you that. I've never have been impressed with the paint. That black paint will fade in a heartbeat. But yeah, I mean, you can paint it back yourself or whatever if you have to. But and I guess after 15 years, I've thought about getting some of that bedliner type black paint on my Bobcat because when you're out in the brushes and everything, scratching it up, it won't scratch as bad. Yeah, it sure is, Scott. Christmas is almost here. Be here in about a week and a half. Uh, I'm already in the Christmas spirit. Barbara and I actually are going to a Christmas concert this afternoon. We're going to go down to Newberry, South Carolina, and listen to Jim Brickman, the pianist. And he's got a concert down there. So we got tickets from that. And so we're getting into Christmas spirit. And like I said, I'm wearing my festive red and green and peanut butter, peanut shells on it. So I try to stay festive and enjoy life, and I'm enjoying life. Well, that's great, Scott. Take off and go to Florida. Enjoy it. Florida's a nice place to be and Christmas time too. I mean, you get decent weather and you can get out and do some things. Uh, Sometimes, I mean, it depends on what your likes are. I mean, some people don't like Christmas if it's not cold. I mean, some people want that white Christmas. They want the Christmas in there, and I can understand that. I enjoy. The other day I was out and about, and I felt I said, this is a Christmas feeling weather, and I like that. It brings it. I guess the thing that harkens back to a lot of people is nostalgia. It's what you grew up with, what you had as a kid, and I'm doing that right now. I ordered a big bag of. I couldn't find we couldn't find orange slices in the grocery store. Either they were sold out or whatever. I don't know. But I love orange slices. Uh, there's certain Christmas foods that I love, and I like to eat them, and I really eat too much of them. So I got on Amazon and ordered a big bag of orange slices. My wife says my diabetes is going to go wacko because of it, because it's nothing but pure sugar. But I ordered that and got it in yesterday, uh, and they taste great. So it's so I'm definitely indulging in the high fructose corn syrup, sugar, uh, you know, running out. You know, if you hear about me having another heart attack, you know what happened. Mike indulged in too much Christmas food, and that's what it is. Yeah, well, I can understand that, Scott. Happy holidays to you too, Kirshna. Uh, I think I'm Krishna. I can't. That's a that spelling throws me off there. Yeah, I like when I grew up. Of course, food. I kind of listen. I kind of think back to my dad's days when my dad grew up. That Christmas was about Christmas food. Uh, they didn't do so many presents and everything, but he talked about getting a banana. To get banana and nuts and apples and oranges and tangerines and stuff like. I mean, that's what his Christmas morning was like when he was young. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, you think about it. It was families back then. They had 8 or 9 kids, and they didn't go out and run to the store and buy store bought gifts and stuff like that. They had an entirely different kind of Christmas, and so as it evolved up, of course, I'm the baby boomer age, and my dad and mom, they started, like all the others of our era, we started getting gifts more than we did probably of my dad's generation. Store bought gifts and stuff like that. So we were the first generation to be spoiled with gifts, and then my children even more so. I mean, it was all unique type stuff. I mean, for me, when I grew up as a kid, it was generic toys. I mean, we didn't have any specific name brand toys. But when my son and daughter came up, they were more of the name brand stuff. It wasn't only uh, a a toy; it was a specific brand name toy. I remember my wife and I, we spent I mean, I wasted way too much money on one gift for my son. And he had to get a big track transporter, and we looked all over trying to find it, and finally found it at a toy hobby shop in Shelby. And to this day, of course, he still has it to this day, and it's still over at his house on a shelf, sort of as a token of what he got as a kid. But that was that generation, and then the next generation up, my grandson's generation. I mean that it even more so. I mean, you had to have an Apple uh, iPod or not iPod, but the earbuds. You had to have the Apple iPhone, or the uh, my son's still into this stuff too. Uh, what is that? He's got a Meta, one of these vision thing. I don't know something, but anyway, getting to the point. To me, Christmas is still about a lot of food product, because my dad wanted to relive his childhood. That's what he inundated us with, was a lot of food product, and we loved it. We enjoyed it, and it still brings back good memories to me. Uh, Well, now you talk when you're talking about FedEx, uh, P&D is tough. P&D is tough. I was in it just 1 year, and I first chance I got to go to line haul, I went to line haul because my background it was more into line haul anyway. I had worked at Carolina Freight running local and line haul runs for them, along with being a switcher in my youth. But I did not want to be a P&D. I mean, I did the work myself. I was when I started with FedEx, or was RPS then. Uh, I started with one truck, one P&D truck, and it worked my butt off. I mean, it was hard work. It's even harder now because of the contractor model that they make those guys go through. I think they have to have a minimum 3 or 5 trucks. So you can't start off with just one truck. You have to adhere to a lot of safety, and I mean they're almost killer safety uh, on things right now with FedEx, especially line haul, and I hear same thing in P&D, and the margins of making money are thinner now than because of inflation. Everything that's happened during the Biden administration has made that tougher and tougher to make money on these P&Ds and a few other things. So the margins are smaller now than they were when I got out in 2020. I'm glad I'm out. I'm glad I'm out because it's life's a lot simpler for me right now. P&D, pickup and delivery, is what P&D stands for. Pickup and delivery is why they call it P&D, because you pick up and you deliver, and so that's why it's pickup and delivery is what it stands for, because that's the model and everything when you're a FedEx contractor or a UPS too. UPS is pickup and delivery, but yeah, we you had and now almost it's I see more on the delivery side than I do the pickup side with some of these FedEx contractors. I mean, they have a small amount of pickup, but a large amount of delivery. Uh, so it is more delivery than it is pickup. In my day, when I started with it with RPS, it was kind of equal amount. I mean, we would deliver all during the mornings and everything else, and then start picking up in the afternoon. Uh, that's the way I had to do it, and the that was a whole different thing. But as far as a business, it, it's it's a different business altogether for sure, um, because you're having to put yourself out there. You and the problem is not so much the equipment, not so much the organization. The problem is getting good people to work for you. That's the problem. Is being able to get people that will that are willing to work and willing to work on a daily basis. And that's it in a nutshell. I mean, you can do all the maintenance, the safety, and everything else, but if you can't keep people in those trucks, you're not going to have a business, and that's the hardest thing to do. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can make money. You can make good money driving, and if you want to do just that, I'm I'm through with it. I don't even like to get my butt in a truck anymore. I can tell you that. Of course, I'm 73 years old. I mean, I've paid my dues. You can look at these old wore out eyes and body that I've got, and I've paid the dues with my health and everything else. Although it did give me the quality of life that I wanted. I will say that. I wanted to be able to do certain things in life, and the amount of money that I made helped me uh, invest into other things. And I've invested into real estate, and primarily that's what my investment lies right now is in real estate. And I don't have to work as hard. Mm. Oh, you live in Fort Mill. Oh, so you're not very far from me. I did P&D work out of Fort Mill before myself with the tractor trailer. I mean, well, I didn't do P&D. I did well semi P&D. I did some trailer spotting for them out of Fort Mill in Charlotte. So yeah, you're right in my area. I didn't realize that. Well, I mean, give me a call sometime. And if you want to come up and see me, you can come. I don't travel very much, so you'd have to come see me. I can tell you that. And well, you just my phone number is out there on. You can look at it on my web on my site. My phone number is out there. You can give me a call, give me a text. Uh, I'll be glad to talk to you. I'm not a bashful person. Of course, I'm busy. You'd have to come up to my shop probably, and we'll see what we're going to do. But I mean, I stay busy during the week, uh, even though I'm retired. But I'll be glad to talk to you. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me just hold on a second. I will give you my phone number. How's that? Not many people will do this, but I will. And you can text me, and I will see what I can do. Of course, I'm going to be busy the next few days. I will tell you that. Uh, the I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning, so I definitely got to go to that. And I mean, you could call me tomorrow afternoon if you wanted to. I don't know what I'm doing. Jim and I are doing some work in the shop, so and I've got a commercial building that we're getting ready to. We got to do some work in, so I'll probably be messing with that tomorrow. And but you're welcome to text me, call me, and if you want to make the trip up to Cherryville, uh, just come on up and we'll do it. We're not but about if you're in the Fort Mill area. Do you live in Fort Mill? If you live in the Fort Mill area, you're not but about 45-minute drive from me. Yep, Jamie know me. Jamie's come by to visit me before. Jamie took out his time of his busy day and stopped by to see me. Exit 83, 83 on 77. Yeah, yeah. If you're on exit 83, so you're right there at Fort Mill, then, aren't you? Yeah, you could run up to 485 and then 485 to 85, 85, get off on 321, 321 over to 279, 279 straight to me. That's how easy it is. So I'm not too far from you. If you want to remember that again, you can go 77 to 485, 485 to 85, 85 south toward Gastonia. Then you can get off exit 17 on the 85 at 321. That's Highway 321 north. You go Highway 321 north toward Lincoln and Cherryville. You get off at the Gaston College Cherryville exit, which is just a few exits up past 85. And then you'll run Highway 279, 12 and a half miles, I believe it is, from when you get off at the Gaston College exit there. It's about 12 and a half miles towards Cherryville. you'll be going west towards Cherryville, and then Cherryville. I'm right off of Highway 279, and you'll be right here at me. I'm right off the road. I'm not too far off of Highway 279. I got a business in a little bit of a small industrial park. I have 4 buildings. Is it 4? 1, 2, 3. 3 buildings. I own 3 buildings. There's 4 buildings there. I own 3 of them. So you got a chance 3 out of 4 getting the right building, don't you? Well, that's good, Scott. Now, Scott, are you with Ground, or are you? I was thinking, gosh, now who was it? Somebody was afraid. I was thinking, I couldn't remember. I can't remember. My brain kind of goes dead on certain things. But it is what it is. But getting back to Christmas, I hope everybody's having a great Christmas. I'm having a good Christmas. I'm enjoying myself. My grandson's home from college. He goes to state. I'll have to plug NC State up here. They were the champions in basketball last year. That's the reason I'm wearing that hat. But he's home for Christmas, and that makes me feel good. I'm glad to have him home. He's a good boy. He's a good boy, and he's working hard. And I hope he's going to make a good engineer, and try to spend some time with him while he's home for Christmas, that sort of stuff. So that's where I'm at. And plus, of course, some of y'all can see me DJing if you wanted to, or hear me DJing. I'm not doing anything. I did a couple this week. I did a couple shows this week. I didn't simulcast any more of them because I thought, man, that's probably the boringest thing anybody's ever seen. You're seeing me kind of fiddle with knobs and stuff in my little trailer studio, and that's about it. Yeah, that for sure. That's going to be a great day for a lot of us patriots, I guess you would say. That's what I'm calling us, is patriots. And I'm going to be happy when January 20th comes around and they get things started. I hope things start turning around. I hope we feel an immediate impact of what they start to do, and I hope we can get the people in place. I hope he can get his Secretary of State and military and everything in place. So that's the way I look at it too, guys. Well, guys, I'm gonna get off and help the wife a little bit because we got a lot of cleanup to do from our Christmas party yesterday, and then we're heading down to see Jim Brickman, as I said, for our Christmas concert. So I got to leave right after lunch for that to head down to South Carolina. It's about a 2-hour drive down there, and so we got to do that, and that's where I'm gonna be. So y'all have a great day. I'm gonna call it a day, and I'll see you around. Y'all take care. Okay, see you guys.